as much as anything else. In fact, I think for the longest time, the doctors thought I had colitis, ulcerative colitis, and my doctors now is like, no, maybe it was just your high sugar this whole time. So, it's called a medical practice. I think they're still looking, but I notice when my sugar is normal, your stomach tends to be a little normal too. So do yourself a favor and cut out the cereal, or and what I do is I just goose myself with insulin ahead of time, because you forget, like even oatmeal, you think, oh yeah, oatmeal's healthy, so I'm just going to eat oatmeal and give myself a couple units. But you do need to look at your carb and do your carb counting with these breakfast cereals, and really pay attention to them as if you're eating cake. Because, if you're going to eat cake, oh boy, all of a sudden you like, oh man, I better give myself a bolus of 5 units. And, if I'm going to, do anything sweet, it gets all your attention. But, breakfast cereal or oatmeal, you're like, not so much. So I would definitely treat it like you're eating a dessert for breakfast. And what sucks is it is advertised as healthy. So that's going to trick you. It's going to trick your kids, especially if you're new to counting your carbs. And the thing about diabetes too is, with all these stupid fad diets out there, if people started the diabetic diet, in other words, here, do everything a diabetic's doing and you will lose weight and be healthier, it probably wouldn't catch on because it doesn't ring like the South Beach diet. But really, you're eating small meals, you're cutting down on carbs, and then doing all the other things. Let's see, that another big food that's full of sugar that I think we kind of forget is rice. The white rice is just loaded with carbs. And what I do, if we're going to, if my wife comes home with the panda or whatever, I'll just cut out the rice. Some people say, oh, the brown rice has less carbs or whatever, but just I'm done with rice unless I'm low. But yeah, if you eat the rice, you are just again, it's like eating dessert, and then it keeps on. It was Vinny Tortorich is all, it's one of these things to where like with pizza and pasta, it doesn't just raise your blood sugar, it raises it for an extended period of time. So as a diabetic, you lower your blood sugar, you think, okay, cool, I'm normal again, and let's say you go to bed or you do your thing. Well, now you forget that, okay, your insulin, let's say it's wearing off. Well, that sugar's that pasta and pizza, it keeps on going. It's just it's like the Energizer Bunny, man. If we could work half as hard as these pastas and the carbs that are in them, we'd all be doing great. So yeah, if you could just do without it, in my opinion, it works well for me. You still have to, obviously you're dealing with all the crap that's on like that orange chicken and stuff, but I try to tell people, look, yeah, people are going to make fun of me because when I would get a Big Mac, I'd get a Diet Coke, and they'd be all, hey, you're getting Diet Coke, and you're getting a Big Mac. But I would just say, hey, what's better, having 500 calories or 250 calories? Of course, as a diabetic, it's 250. But then, of course, the last couple years, now I'm concerned about sweetener. I just took one article, and it changed my whole way of, even though I work for, I'm on the board of a sugar company, we have low-calorie sugar, I still said, hey, I'm diabetic, I still go with 0 calorie. But the problem is at a certain point, it's just with all the stuff, like I notice people around me are starting to slow down, and whether it's dementia or Alzheimer's, and now they're linking it all, I said to hell with it. I'm just going with straight sugar and giving myself more insulin ahead of time, trying to cut the sugar out when I can. And as you eat boring foods, you kind of your palate changes too. It's not a coincidence that if people that grow up on an island like fish, they crave it, and that's because that's what their palate is used to. People that grow up in the inner city, guess what? They like, crappy foods because that's what they're used to. They don't have the foods that maybe somebody in rural areas have. And it's not a coincidence. We could, we're smart guys. We could get used to anything. Especially if it's good. We just have to treat it right and do it in a manner that is not, like, okay, I'm just gonna enjoy this food, and if I don't enjoy it, I'm not gonna like it. No, it's the presentation and anything else. I always say if you're drinking a fluid, let's say because you like the way that the diet can fills in your hand or when you open it, well, just buy yourself a nice stainless steel cup or a mug. There's so many different things, and just get excited about the vessel in which you carry your drink. You just have to beat it. The other thing, bread. I mean, you eat your sandwich. I think some people know this. They feel like if they're eating wheat bread, they're getting away with it. But bread just has so many carbs. So if you could, cut out the toast I just when I eat breakfast now, it's more of a kind of a eggs and sausage type. And I know you got the cholesterol and everything else, but you're going to have that anyway with bread on top of it. So if you could, just stick to more protein instead of all the bread for breakfast, then at least you'll be dodging that bullet. Because it's almost like, well, pick your poison. Okay, well, if I have a poison that's going to take decades to kill me, or a poison that's going to, like strychnine, that's going to just take me before I finish this set, and you hit the floor, I'm going to take the protein and then try to, I'm going to work on my cholesterol. But we're talking about both. I mean, people are having everything, but the most direct thing that's going to kill you as a diabetic is going to be having high blood sugar. So we have to learn to cut that out, and it's just by these seven things that I just read on. It's just these are things that we have all the time. It's not like we just have it around the holidays. The last thing on my list, well, two things, I guess we'll combine them, would be fruits and smoothies. Dried fruits, all a ton of carbs, a lot of sugar. But smoothies, oh my gosh, if there's one thing that makes me think, oh, my pump's not working, I have an occlusion in my sight, I need to change it, is smoothies. Because you'll give yourself a ton of insulin, and then you eat the smoothie and you're like, dude, my sugar is going, between 80, 85 and 100, 105 normal. It goes up 120, 130, 200, 300, and everything's blinking and beeping, and the ship's going down, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what is it? It's just there's so much sugar in these smoothies that literally there's times where I take 10 units, and I'll just after everything's equalized, I'll just go sideways with it, and it's just I would love to see the sugar on a diagram if they like dried it all out and had a jar with all the ingredients. I think it would look like a jar of it'd make a drug dealer happy. There'd be so much white powder in there. It's just it's just insane. And I think these Juice It Ups and the Jamba Juice, they have their 1/3 less calories, but even then it's just, that, guys, is, I always say it's I looked up my A1C and it said slow suicide. So, when you're looking at these drinks that have that much sugar, you need to say, look, my kids deserve better than this. My family and friends deserve better than me hurting myself. You're at that point, you're no better than somebody that's addicted to drugs, and you're just gonna do it anyway, just for the joy of doing it. Unless, again, if you're really smart about it, you calculate it out, you spread it out between times. But if it's if it's just you're going to do it on a regular basis, and you know it's going to go out of control, guys, you're my doctor told me, they said every time your blood sugar gets high, it's like you're punching your kidneys. And it's funny, when I pour a quart of oil in my motor, I think about, what if I was pouring this stuff down my organs? If you have all your organs laid out on the picture of my podcast, you see a picture of all the organs. You know, you pour the best quart of oil in your motor, but yeah, look at the crap we're pouring into our bodies on a daily basis. And you know, you have to look at it like that, because, you know, hey, when it's gone, it's gone. And you know, again, you know, you want to be healthy, you want to live a long time. You know, there's no easy button. You have to do all that work, and you have to get smart about it. You have to get pissed off about it. You have to get mean. You have to get creative. And then ultimately you have to have fun with it too. You know, you have to be interested in it, whatever that takes. But it sure as hell ain't going to be by, you know, eating all these foods that have high in sugar that, you know, are going to take you down and bring you to the next level, but going the wrong way. You know, you have no momentum at that point. But I think, you know, us as diabetics, we share a lot of things with people that are trying to lose weight. They're interchangeable. So we need to start thinking like each other and take what works in one industry and or in one segment and use it on the other. So in any event, yeah, I try to shoot for half an hour today, but you know, it never works out that way. So I'm going to wrap it up, guys. And again, if you are not even remotely happy with this podcast, I will give you double your money back. And we will talk to you tomorrow. Can I do one commercial before I go? All right. Hey guys, we love sugar. Sugar tastes good. Problem is, it's causing type 2 diabetes. So we switch over to artificial sweeteners, which at a certain level become bitter, and now it's linked to early dementia. In fact, if you're drinking diet sodas on a regular basis, you're 10 times more likely, studies say, in getting early dementia. So we have a sugar, it's called Next Sugar. It tastes great. It's as sweet as sugar. It's 100% on the sweetness index. Yes, there is an index for that. And guess what? It's half the calories, guys. You can bake with it, try it, get going, do your thing.